even though it's probably close to 100 degrees outside, not really, I've decided to wear an all-black hoodie to hopefully summon cold weather.
It's 81 degrees.
That's not bad, actually.
It's been
that's not bad.
Semi-cold.
Yeah. So that's not terrible. I was also trying to think of some Taylor Swift lyric to sing relating to weather, but I just couldn't do it.
She has a lot of songs about lyrics about kissing in the rain.
Yeah. Salt air.
Snow
That
on
was
the
last
beach.
month, though.
Snow on the beach.
Snow on the beach. Yeah. The thing about that is it's weird, but it's kind of fucking beautiful.
Unusual couple,
How funny are you?
Yeah, I'm so funny. Anyway.
You could have sang Riptide.
Yeah.
Do you know that song?
It's
like the original version of it?
It's a little too folksy for me. Is that Imagine Dragons?
No, it's Vance Joy.
Oh, I must be thinking of something else then.
Let me play it for you.
Lately, I've been down on the riptide.
Yeah.
That
okay, it doesn't sound like that though. God damn.
Oh man, that's the one from the Percy Jackson trailer, right? We're gonna get copyright, so we're gonna. Yeah, it's like something someone would be playing damn near on a banjo by a campfire.
Yeah.
Out in the woods with a white barn somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not a bad song, but it's
Their version of it is good.
Yeah, I like their version of it in the trailer.
It's dramatized.
Yeah, it was fitting. It was also very on the nose for fans of Percy Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not one of those, apparently. So,
did anyone comment that on your video?
No, I didn't say it immediately because I kind of just shook my head. Like when I saw that thing in his hand, I'm like, yeah, that's his sword.
His pen sword.
His pen sword.
You said.
Yeah. His pumpkin ball. Remember when I said that? I'll never live that down. When I said that in the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer reaction, I will never. I go back and watch that every now and then. And like sometimes when I'm filming a reaction,
what are they called?
They're called. I think they're just called the Goblin Bombs, or like Pumpkin Bomb. Sorry, Pumpkin Bomb.
You said pumpkin ball.
And then I went sphere to try and correct myself because I was so embarrassed. Like it was such a good reaction because I was like truly like hyped. And then sometimes when I get excited, I'll talk too much, faster than my brain can almost process it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like pumpkin ball. Sphere. And I was just like, I knew it wasn't right, but I didn't care. That's like still one of my highest performing videos on YouTube. So I was like, fuck it.
That's so
keep
funny.
it in. But Percy Jackson trailer did drop.
Like a full trailer.
It's actually a teaser trailer. That to me, that
more
wasn't
than a minute.
Wasn't a meaty trailer. Is that a hot take?
Yeah.
Wasn't that meaty of a trailer?
We got a lot. We got Zeus for the first time.
Yeah.
We got looks at
Is it
the water park that they go to.
Fair. I know. I was just saying, like, as someone, so like we are approaching this from two very different standpoints, and I just wanted to kind of set that up for everybody watching. Cam,
or listening.
Yeah, Cam, tell them your experience with Percy Jackson, and I'll tell mine, and then we'll get into it.
I'm an avid Percy Jackson lover. I have read the books. I've been making YouTube videos, updating on the show for over the past year. I looked at my YouTube. The first one I made was like over a year ago, which is crazy.
At that old apartment, right?
Yeah. Big Percy Jackson fan. Child of Athena, if you will.
Okay.
This necklace that I'm always wearing, I don't know if anybody's ever noticed it, but 9 times out of 10 I'm wearing it. It's got an owl on it for Athena.
Nice.
Fun fact.
Nice.
So my mother's with me everywhere I go. So I'm a big book girly for Percy Jackson.
Okay.
And what about you?
I went to the theater in 2010 to watch the movie with my mother and my brother. And it was in summertime. And I remember reading the book before the movie or after the movie, one of the two. But I read it in like a day and a half. Like I zoomed through it.
Yeah, I read it
because I enjoyed it. Do I remember every detail of the book? No. That was over a decade ago. I do remember the movie like pretty well. Like, I would say, no exaggeration, people like to exaggerate, I've seen that movie 10 times at least. Like,
Yeah.
growing up, I watched it at friends' houses. I watched it sometimes just on my own. I had the DVD, and I loved that movie because I was 10 or whatever, so I didn't care if it was close to a book, book accurate or whatever people like to say. And I also just didn't think it's a pretty decent adventure movie.
Yeah.
Just for what it is.
It's a fun movie. It's just not a fun Percy Jackson movie.
So I have fond memories of that movie. I also think Logan Lerman just eats in the role.
Logan Lerman eats everything he
I think
does.
he's really good. I think that cast, for the most part, is like a perfect cast.
Yeah, it's a very star-studded cast for sure.
Especially someone we've mentioned in a recent episode, Sean Bean as Zeus.
Word.
God,
Sean Bean's
is he-
everywhere.
I mean, like, I'm so excited to see what Lance Reddick does in this show. Rest in peace,
Rest in
legend.
peace.
He's so good in the John Wick movies. But Sean Bean, if you don't return the lightning bolt by the summer solstice or the winter solstice, whatever he says,
Winter Solstice.
like there will be like, I love the way that he talks. But anyway, fond memories of the movie. Then Sea of Monsters rolls around. I think I had tried to read the book, couldn't get into it. Watched the movie.
It's definitely the worst book, for sure.
Watched the movie with two friends, opening day in theaters. It came out in August. Dog shit.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
I was like, that's all. I've never watched it since then. It was like the CGI. You guys want to, if you guys think The Flash has bad CGI, go watch that movie. It's awful. But that's my relationship. I've seen the two movies and read The Lightning Thief and half of Sea of Monsters. And I don't
Yeah.
remember anything really about the books at all, really. But we're getting a series
Yes.
December 20th.
Yes.
I bet when we get closer, they're going to drop it. They're going to say it's actually going to come out on weeknights because they want to do like
It's already coming out on a Wednesday.
Yeah, I know, but they haven't said the time. So I'm saying once they get closer to it, they instead of dropping it at 3 a.m., Loki and Ahsoka have moved to weeknights. I think they're going to do that with Percy Jackson.
They'll probably do Wednesday at like 9.
Yeah, fitting. It's coming out at a weird time, to me.
Why?
Like,
'Cause
just
it's
dropping
winter?
right before Christmas is a bold strategy.
Well, yeah.
Unless
Especially,
it drops on the winter solstice.
I think there is an episode that is on the winter solstice. I don't know if it's for this season.
Because usually it's like the 21st, right, of
Let
December?
me look it up. Because I think someone said, hang on.
Yeah,
When
go for it.
is the winter solstice? Someone said that if we get more seasons of the show, we'll actually get a Percy Jackson episode on the winter solstice. So yeah, it's December 21st. So let's look at the year of 2024.
Okay.
Nope. The year of 2025. Nope. 2026.
I was like, what are you doing? Oh, you're saying no, it's not on that. So yeah,
7.
we probably never will, but that's as close as you're going to get the day before.
Well, if they drop it on
They might move it, though.
Tuesdays,
Yeah.
we'll get the 5th season on the winter solstice.
It won't really matter then, though. It's like Lightning Thief is where Winter Solstice is the biggest plot, right?
It's all books take place during the same amount of time.
Oh,
Like
cool.
they're always at summer camp.
Yeah.
So it is a little interesting that it's dropping during the winter when it is a summer show
Yeah.
in a way. But I think it'll fit the vibes, I think.
We shall see. As for the teaser trailer, it's 1 minute and 32-ish seconds.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who didn't, like I just prefaced everything, I'm not like a diehard Percy Jackson fan or anything.
Yeah.
I
Don't
think
really remember the book.
I think it looks good. To my knowledge and understanding of the main plot of the first one, it really didn't show even half of the events, I don't think. I don't think it even gets over halfway of the material. Maybe some quick shots, but
Yeah, it was more like showing characters than showing events.
Yeah.
They showed a bunch of stuff from the water park and the thrill ride of love
yeah.
that they do for Aries. They've shown a lot of Aries, which is cool.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure that they're purposely showing a lot of stuff. Especially if Rick has any say in what goes into these trailers, I think they're purposely showing a lot of stuff that they just did not put in the movies. Because like we've got Auntie M's, which is like Medusa's like emporium. We've got Aries. We've got the thrill ride of love. We've got the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that the movies just either didn't do or didn't do correctly is the stuff that they're showing us the most. But like we haven't really seen. We've barely really even seen all of a lot of Camp Half-Blood. We've seen the same cabins over and over again.
Yeah.
I broke this down in my trailer breakdown that isn't posted yet. the cabins that we see in this most recent trailer, we see Zeus, Poseidon, Ares, and Apollo. And to the right would be Athena, but they're not showing it. Justice. Justice. I think you took the quiz and you're son of Poseidon.
I think I took it twice and the data was kind of conflicting.
Yeah, you took it once and you got son of Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Which, in a way, makes sense if you actually think about it, outside of just children of Aphrodite are pretty, which is what their stereotype is in the books. They're also like, you know, like OCD, very like kind of perfectionists. Like
Fits the bill for
everything
me so
has
far.
to like look good and like be good. That's kind of you. So it made
Yeah.
sense to me when you got child of Aphrodite, but also child of Poseidon makes sense for you because you love water.
I do.
You like live for looking at water. For some reason.
And I drink it like a fiend.
Yeah, you might as well be a sea creature.
I mean, I might as well. I drink water almost
Water
by the
gives you
gallon,
power?
damn near. Yeah.
Water
Not
gives you
healthy,
power?
probably, actually. I drink it to an unhealthy extent.
You drink it more than I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Camp Half-Blood, honestly. We haven't seen any of Luke. They're hiding him. Release him from the Disney archives. Free him. It's crazy.
He's locked in the vault.
we saw him for maybe 0.2 seconds in this trailer, and he had a helmet on, so that doesn't even count. Okay? I want to see him evil, and I want to see the scar on his face. All right? Justice?
The one thing I know about him is my interpretation of the character Luke is from the movie. And so whenever I think of him, he's got this line he tells Percy. He's like, if you see my dad on the highway to hell, be sure to kick his ass for me. I'm pretty sure he says that in the movie.
Luke would never.
And then he's playing like Call of Duty. He's got like a pimped out house
Awful.
or cabin.
Remember
in,
the argument we had a couple episodes ago where I was like, maybe I should get rid of my phone because demigods don't own technology
Yeah.
because it attracts monsters?
Yeah.
Luke has a full decked out cabin
Yeah.
in the movie full of any electronic you could maybe ever think of.
Yeah.
No. Wrong.
They don't own technology.
No.
See, this is going to be fun for me when I read the books because, like, that is really just hard to believe in 2023 when the show's coming out now. When is
'Cause-
Percy Jackson set? In like the 90s? Or I'm just asking, like, do we know when it's
probably
set
like
or is it
the
just kind of.
2000s was when the book came out.
Okay, yeah, fair.
I don't know when they're going to actually like place it in time in the show,
Mm-hmm.
but that'll be up to Rick. They might do it in
Interesting.
2023. But like the thing is if you think about it, Percy's 12, so he wouldn't have a phone yet,
Damn.
realistically, right? No kid actually has like
So they aged him up in the movie then?
hella. That's one of
No,
the biggest
I mean,
issues.
yeah. I mean, like, but he wasn't supposed to be 12 in the movie, right? He was like, they put him in high school.
Yeah.
I honestly, from a business standpoint, if you're pitching this to like the masses, assuming most people haven't read the book, probably smart to put him in high school to make it more like relatable to people. Like,
nothing about Percy Jackson is relatable. He's fighting demons.
I know, but I'm just saying,
and
like,
monsters.
more so to like audiences is what I meant. Like, think of all the other sort of
Harry Potter.
not
they started as
dystopian,
kids.
but like the Divergent, Hunger Games, Maze Runner. Like
That's
those aren't like 12-year-olds,
very-
you know?
Yeah, but that's very different. Percy Jackson's not dystopian. It's
Well, I know. I was saying that young is it YA, young adult sort of
Yeah,
genre
sure.
or section of like books to movies, like
well, you went to Barnes and Noble with me recently.
Yeah.
Where are the Percy Jackson books? They're in the kids section. Technically, they're
Yeah.
they're in the kids section.
should they
of-
be?
of
I
Barnes
don't
and Noble.
know.
I
but-
mean, I think they're basically for all ages, but you can read them when you're young. That's like the whole point.
yeah,
But if
but
you
I
look
mean,
at
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter, they start when they're little babies, and then they just
Yeah,
grow.
Fair.
And it's fine. Like when you watch the first 2 Harry Potter movies, you don't feel disconnected, do you? No, just because they're little.
No.
Like I don't think that's gonna happen. And the thing is that yeah, Percy and Annabeth are young. Grover is a couple years older than them, and then Luke and Clarice are a couple years. Whoa. Luke and Clarice are a couple years older than them.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy that plays Luke is like 17, I think.
Yeah.
I think the actor's actually 18, but the character's 17.
Okay.
So like, there's a range of ages.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
But they're not showing us Luke.
Yeah. Again, I don't really have much else to add to this conversation. I just realized because I haven't read the book in so long, but I'm excited for the show. I think it looks good. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I just don't know how it's going to land with the masses. I think hardcore Percy Jackson fans will be very pleased. But kind of going back to my point earlier, a lot of people might just brush this off as like a kid show, like a little kid show.
It's possible.
Like the attitude some people have towards Cobra Kai.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like some of the humor might, like, I can see people being like, this show's not funny. This is like childish humor. And it's like,
I think people will call it cringe.
but it's a 12-year-old making jokes. So of course the jokes are going to be kind of childish.
It doesn't help that it's on Disney Plus. I'm talking about when I say that, I mean to the masses of people who watch TV. It doesn't help. Like, if it was on any other network or streaming service, it would help more to appeal to a wider audience. But people are going to see Disney Plus and be like, oh, it's made for like 10-year-olds.
Yeah, like these are the titles of some chapters in the book. Chapter 1: I accidentally vaporized my pre-algebra teacher. Like, stuff like that will either hit or miss with people. It depends on if they understand the humor. You know? Depends on if they understand. I become supreme lord of the bathroom.
It's a kid's book. I mean, there's no denying that.
We get advice from a poodle. A god buys us cheeseburgers.
My question is, as someone who...
We shop for waterbeds.
Who's on the outside looking in, like, Harry Potter sort of ages up with the audience. So, you know, it came out in 2001 and then ended in 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
I think 2011. By the end, like, the tone of that series drastically shifted. Like, you watch a movie, like, by the time Half-Blood Prince rolls around, you damn near need, like, to turn the brightness up on your TV to see it. And it starts out light and colorful. And that's a lot of things I've seen online. People are like, this is a little too, like, light and fluffy. Is it going to get, you know, to the more serious, like, dark tone? And I don't know, because I've never explored past half of Sea of Monsters. But it'd be cool if it did build up to sort of like a Battle of Hogwarts scenario where Voldemort, takes on. Or is it more of a lighthearted series overall?
As the books go on, what Percy gets into gets more and more drastic and more like
mature.
More of like a dire situation in a way. Like, the stakes become higher when like Kronos gets involved and X, Y, and Z and all this stuff. And so the situations get more intense and more dire and more dramatic, but Percy's humor always kind of stays the same. So if the show takes the books and tells the story from Percy's perspective, like the books are, where he's constantly making these jokes either out loud or in his head, and he kind of deals with trauma from he deflects trauma and just makes jokes instead, like most people. That might be why the show feels like it's a little bit light. It's because he's just like a super sarcastic kid. And he's a kid for sure. And he's a kid from New York.
Yeah. Do you think the show will make it to the 5th season?
Yes.
You think there will be big enough of a following and that it will be positively received?
Yeah, I do.
And this is Disney we're talking about, who is cutting stuff right now. That's all I'm saying.
I just think...
I'm going to sneeze, so no, don't be alarmed when it happens. I'll put the mic away.
I just think that the Percy Jackson fandom is such a strong fandom. It's a fandom that can rival a lot of other fandoms that have a lot of physical, like, virtual media, like movies and stuff for that fandom. It can rival all those things, and it doesn't have any of that. It has these 2 movies that are kind of not good movies. It's a really big fandom just based on books. And that's like a thing that not a lot of other fandoms do. Harry Potter is a big fandom, but if they had no Harry Potter movies, how many people would be Harry Potter fans? Not a lot. Not as much as there are with the movies. Same thing for Hunger Games. Same thing for Divergent, if you will. Like, Lord of the Rings. If there weren't Lord of the Rings movies, how many Lord of the Rings fans do you think there would be?
Hardcores, but not as many by
not
a
as
long
many.
shot. Yeah.
So, like,
I don't know anyone who's read the Lord of the Rings books.
The fact that the Percy Jackson fandom can rival all these fandoms that have these very successful movie franchises, and they don't have a successful movie franchise of their own, says a lot. So when we get this TV show that's going to be a good TV show, I think those fans are going to show up. Plus, the people that aren't even book fans are also going to show up.
That's the one thing, again, I'm not at all rooting against the show, but I'm curious is the fact that it is on Disney Plus, who's had a poor track record with shows lately. And will people watch this because it is a Disney Plus original, as opposed to if it was a movie? Now, I know I want your opinion on this. Do you think there's a world where they could have made 5 movies?
With Logan Lerman in the cast?
No. 5 movies with this new cast and fit everything from the books into a movie?
No.
You don't think so?
No, I think the books...
But they did with Harry Potter.
They don't actually
They
include...
split up the... Well, I'm saying for the most part. They're not going to... No piece... The one thing that annoys me is like when... What?
Keep going.
When book reader people, which like I'm not one of... Outwardly about that, by the way, I am. I don't know why I just went Yoda, but... it's like... this is the stance I have. It gets into the whole Harry Potter reboot thing. It's like... No book adaptation has ever had every single word from that book and image painted in that book put directly to the screen. And if you want it that way, you have no imagination. You can't make a movie in your head when you read a book. That's what I do. That's the cool thing is like, I have no clue how you envision reading the first Hunger Games book. We watch the movie, we see it the same way. But like when I read the Hunger Games book, I hadn't seen the movie yet because I read it before the movie years ago now. And it's like, we all had our own movies and it's like a cool thing. That's a cool thing about reading that I don't really dive into much reading. But it's kind of irritating that I don't know. People are like, well, this wasn't in there. It's like, well, it's a movie. If you want it to be the exact same, awesome. But I don't know.
Less that
That's
people,
just me.
It's less that people want it to be the exact same. It's just that out of all the book adaptations, book to movie adaptations there's definitely some that represent the books far better than others. Like really good book adaptations that people talk about all the time. The Hunger Games, Twilight's a good book adaptation. Like they hit pretty much all of the main points needed. There's a lot of stuff in Harry Potter books that are super left out of the movies, and granted they're not as necessary stuff. Like the main plot point gets across, like it's fine, but there's a bunch of things that they miss. And so could they make Percy Jackson movies? Yeah, but like I think as somebody who does read a lot of books, there's something about the Percy Jackson books where it's like it feels like each thing that happens is significant and important. I think it might be because in each book they basically go on a quest of sorts and each event leads into the other. It's a butterfly effect from each chapter to the next. And if you skip one or you leave one out, it's like, how do we get here? That's like if you made a movie of the first book and you skipped out on their deal with Ares, for example, how did they get from the middle of the U.S. to Hollywood? How did they get on this truck that carries zoo animals to take them to the other side? Like, if you skip something in a Percy Jackson book, like you're kind of missing like a puzzle piece. It's kind of like you kind of need it. And maybe that's why they changed it so much when they did the movie with Logan Lerman, because they tried to do it like the book and they're like, this is either going to take too long or it's just not going to work. And if we cut things, it doesn't make sense. So we're just going to make our own plot point at some way, which is basically what they did to try and get to the same end situation as the book. But it was just bad. So I think it just works better as a TV show. You can flesh it out more. Rick's going to add more to certain characters and just add things in general that's just going to enhance it, which I think is good.
Well, real quick, I want to say I don't really... This opens the door to another conversation, which we have time. I know you're eyeing the thing. We have time. Our camera cuts out every 30 minutes, by the way, for some reason. But I have never heard a single person on planet Earth say, damn, I want them to remake the Harry Potter movies because they missed out on this little character or this detail from the book.
You'd be surprised.
I haven't heard that crowd until HBO announced they're doing a reboot show.
Really? I
don't know a single soul. I know everyone I know has watched Harry Potter. Not a single person I know is like, there's a lot of room left for them to redo it.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
That's set up for failure, in my opinion.
I agree.
It's doomed, actually. I
feel the same way.
I'm not watching it, and I know it's easy to sit here and say that. I'm not.
I feel the same way about the Twilight show they want to make.
I won't watch that either.
Here's the thing. I don't give a crap about the accurate book adaptation of Twilight. I don't care what they've left out of the books, whatever. For me, that one's just like the casting. How are you ever ever, what makes you think you could ever find somebody to play Bella or Edward better than Kristen and Robert did? You won't. You never will. So why would you bother?
Yeah, you can't replace Charlie.
Now so true. Or Carlisle? Now, franchises you can and should reboot. Divergent. Never got finished.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Make a TV show or remake movies. I don't care what you do. But that's a book series that had an audience. The first Divergent movie is very widely loved, and then they fell off. So go ahead and remake it. You can do that. I believe in you. The the casting in Divergent is great and amazing, but it's not a staple to life. It's not like the most iconic casting there's ever been. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm
Plenty
fine.
of room to do that.
I'm fine with that. I say we go ahead and bring on a new Narnia, which they're going to do. Apparently, Greta Gerwig is developing movies, so bring that on, in my opinion, at least.
I'll say I have a list of things that deserve reboots.
Yeah, rattle them off.
And that should never. And then there's some that should just never have reboots. So franchises that need reboots, in my opinion: Divergent. We already said Narnia.
Yes.
Obviously Percy Jackson, which is getting one. Spiderwick Chronicles, which was getting one.
It might still get picked up though, by it's
and now
fully finished.
It's like shelved though.
But it's on the market. Like they're trying to sell it to another studio.
Makes me sad.
I'm sorry.
And then selfishly, I think Sleeping Beauty deserves a live action adaptation.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because it's like it just got skipped over. It got Maleficent, and Disney was like, "All right, that's a good enough live action remake for us." And it's not a live action remake; it's a retelling of a different character, and Aurora's in it a little bit.
And it's just bland.
What the movie?
Maleficent is so bland.
Yeah. I agree. So then, franchises that never ever need a reboot: The Hunger Games. Don't touch it. You don't need to.
Fair.
I think franchises should do what.
No, I'm gonna let you know it will in about 10 years get a reboot.
No, I refuse. I refuse.
Harry Potter's getting one.
The thing is, though,
that was untouchable to me.
That's probably because what's her name? The girl, J.K. Rowling.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling probably wants it to get redone. She's allowing it. It's her books. Suzanne Collins.
Well,
will probably not ever ask them to redo The Hunger Games because it was so successful.
Fair. Plus, they had that prequel.
Exactly. Like, if she wanted to reboot The Hunger Games, she would have just rebooted it. Instead, she wrote a prequel, and now that's being made into a movie. More franchises should do what the Hunger Games franchise is doing and just make spin-off movies, make prequel movies, because that's better than rebooting your whole series.
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling, I'm looking at you. You had the opportunity to do a Marauder story, and you didn't do it, and instead you're making a TV show that of a story that already has great movies.
I have sort of an info dump about that we'll get into very shortly.
J.K. Rowling?
The ins and outs, Warner Bros., the studio, and why we are getting this reboot.
Hunger Games, don't touch it.
Okay.
Lord of the Rings, I don't think those ever need to be rebooted.
No.
And they're building off of it. You know, they've got the Hobbit movies, they've got the TV show.
Yeah.
Fine. You know, if you're a really big fan of the franchise, you enjoy the world building, right? It's whatever. It's not a big deal.
I think there are murmurs they're rebooting the movies. You heard that, right?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're greedy bastards who lack original concepts and
That
just want to
makes
make money.
me sick.
Yeah.
Another thing.
I got to say something about Harry Potter before we
Go
go
ahead.
So this is from an insider who I have watched on YouTube sometimes, and he's actually pretty accurate a lot of the times. I won't drop the guy's name or anything, but he's like, he worked for Collider for a long time, and he like knows what he's talking about. And this was when the news broke about the Harry Potter series launching at HBO Max, now Max. Supposedly, the studios wanted to continue making Harry Potter movies with the original crew, like new stories. So I'm talking Ron, Hermione, Harry, and their kids and everything. However, J.K. Rowling technically owns the rights to Harry Potter, and she, this is the kicker I didn't mention. I'm bad at telling stories sometimes. So she owns the rights.
Yeah.
Okay? However, the OGs, notably Radcliffe, refused to work with J.K. Rowling.
Oh,
refused to work. We all knew that. Refused to work with her, and so the studios wanted to like buy the rights from her. Like, we're basically begging, from what I heard. Wow. And she was like, no, like, I'm keeping it and everything.
What a bitch.
And so ultimately they were like, this is such a gold mine. The studios apparently were like, this is a gold mine. Like, we would prefer to continue with Harry and like kind of almost do like Star Wars sequels in a way. However, we have to make money off this. We can't just let it sit here and die. So they kind of bent the knee and were like, we're just going to reboot it. And J.K. Rowling was like, yeah, that's what
They're
we gotta do.
idiots. It's just not going to be as successful, and it's just not going to work out for them.
That's what this dude who's an insider was saying once, like a few months back. I don't know, take that with a grain of salt,
Just
but I
make
believe it.
Marauders content. That's what everybody wants to
and
see.
to me, it's such a vast world. Just look at the game that came out. What's called Hogwarts Legacy.
Such a good game.
That's proof that you can just make pretty much any story you want in Harry Potter universe.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to involve Harry.
I'm pretty sure that's like 200 years before Harry Potter exists, before any of the Marauders exist.
Make a 6-film prequel series.
You could make a movie with those video game characters, and people would be sad, probably.
Yep.
I'd be sad.
And you pitch it as something in Harry Potter, and sorry, I have to say this, but Fantastic Beasts clearly was the wrong route to go. So
it's not their fault.
what they need to do is say blank, and then have it like kind of a Harry Potter story, like Rogue One, a Star Wars story,
or Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway,
other franchises that never need a reboot ever, that don't need to be touched.
Are we talking just based on books now, or are we transcending?
No, we're going past books. Just
Okay.
popular franchises that really shouldn't be touched. Back to the Future.
Yeah, I agree. Never touch the first Back to the Future.
Don't touch any of them, obviously.
The trilogy's perfect. That is a ticking time bomb. I think that in 15 to 20 years, they'll probably reboot it.
We were close to people wanting it when they did like those deep fakes of RDJ and Tom Holland onto Marty McFly and Doc. And people were like, let's do a remake. I'm like, maybe let's not, and say we did.
Yeah, one I think they'll never reboot, fortunately, is Star Wars. And that is because we are still getting spin-offs of the original story today. There'd be too much material to reboot.
That'd be like trying to reboot the MCU.
It would make no sense at this point.
Yeah, that'd be awful. I didn't even write MCU or Star Wars down
because there's no
obvious
way.
Ones.
Think about all the media that's come out like in the timeline. You can't even try to reboot.
Those are like actively going franchises. These are franchises that like are pretty much done.
Okay.
Give or take a few. I wrote down Indiana Jones. I know we got a 5th one. I know you don't like it as much. That's fine. But like they can never remake the first Indiana Jones movie with someone who's not Harrison Ford. Like, can you imagine them just rebooting that entire franchise?
I'll be honest with you. I've really warmed up to this lately.
Doing Young Indy? Is that what you're about to say?
Yes.
That's fine. That's not rebooting.
Young
that's doing
indie,
a prequel.
Like 20s indie.
That's fine. That's not rebooting. That's doing a prequel. That's adding on to the universe.
Okay, fair.
That's fine. I'm talking about what's the name
Wipe
of the first
the slate
one?
clean and
What's the name of the very first movie?
Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah, sorry. I get them confused.
You're good.
I'm saying like they reshoot exactly what Raiders of the Lost Ark is.
Pretty much?
Yeah, remake it
100%,
no. Just with a different actor.
Hell no.
No, not worth it. Stranger Things, obviously it's not done yet, but when it's done and then in 10 years time, 10, 20, 30 years, don't be trying to reboot Stranger Things. Don't be trying to make it again. Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Of the Caribbean, I know of that franchise. I'm not sure what you just said, but Pirates of the Caribbean,
I thought it was Caribbean.
To each their own, I guess. But I mean, to me, it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Anyways, Pirates of the Caribbean, don't touch it. Right.
Well, here's the thing. We need to be more clear with remake or reboot, because reboot would mean like kind of what TASM did to the original Spider-Man. That's a reboot of Spider-Man. Remake would be if you took the Raiders and redid it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm talking both.
So I'm open to a lot of these being rebooted. Remakes, I'm pretty out on. But rebooting, like, I'm not opposed to them because I want more Pirates films rebooting the damn thing. Without Jack Sparrow, without Will, like, making a new universe of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay,
movies.
what I mean when I'm saying this is that, like, technically I wrote down reboot. But, like, when I say reboot, like, they're just, they're recasting Jack. They're recasting Will. They're recasting.
I don't want that then, yeah. By your definition, I don't want that.
And then I also wrote The National Treasure.
No, didn't they try something on Disney Plus and it failed?
Yeah,
I heard
didn't do very good.
I heard it was shit, so I just never even watched it.
And then I have a small little list of remakes that are better than the original. Would you like to hear my list?
Yeah, and I'll say agree or disagree.
Okay. Freaky Friday, the 2003 one, is better than the 1976 one. I don't think you've seen either.
I'd say I've seen 80% of the new one.
Yeah. I had it on while you were in the room once.
But
it's better by far.
You can vouch for that 70s version?
I just know.
Okay,
I've never seen it, but I just know.
I was just messing with you.
I just know. Like, let's be very honest.
Obviously.
This is one I haven't seen either of these of, so you're going to have to tell me. I've got The Mummy, 1999 versus the 1932 version.
Next.
Have you seen The Mummy?
I haven't seen anything from The Mummy.
No way. I thought you had.
No.
Well, I think the one with
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser is the
There's
the
one
favorite,
with Tom
right?
Cruise recently. Yeah, Brendan
Yeah.
Fraser is the favorite one though, from what I've heard. And it's the one the ride at Universal's based off of. Yeah.
I have A Star Is Born. No year specified.
There's
Just aren't there like
15
40 of
those.
them? Yeah, but I think
Yeah.
the newest one's probably the best one.
It's up to
People
yeah.
would
They all
say.
got Oscar noms. A lot of them did, I guess. But yeah.
Next we have Little Women, the 2019 one, better than the 1994 one. I don't think you've seen the 1994 one.
I haven't seen like any of these movies.
You've seen Little Women?
The new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to have seen both.
Well, all you need to know is that's better.
Okay.
And then you definitely haven't seen this one, the old one of this one. Dune 2021 is better than 1984's.
That seems to be the consensus. I'll never watch the original. Dune.
Those
I
are
heard it
all
was
written down.
Dog shit.
We haven't seen the old ones of those,
Yeah.
obviously, but like that's the general consensus based on the
Yeah.
internet that those remakes are better
Yeah.
than the old ones.
Okay. Let's talk Teen Wolf then, because
I was gonna
that
say, yeah.
is a remake of
right.
the 1980s movie. Sorry, my phone just went off.
Do you have to post something?
Yeah, but I'll wait. I'll push it 30 minutes.
So, Teen Wolf update. We are halfway through 3B.
No. Oh, I thought you were gonna say season 3.
No, halfway through 3B.
We're over halfway, baby. We're on season 3, episode 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 20. We have 5 episodes left of season 3.
If we watched it after we filmed this podcast,
We're gonna finish it tonight, and then we have Ahsoka tonight. So we got. That's why we're doing this early. It's 5:00 right now.
I need you to be fully awake and alive for the finale of season 3, though. So
I will be.
so
Worst
if you
case, we
feel
have
like
to do
you're
it
falling
tomorrow.
asleep, we're not watching it tonight.
It's fine.
You have to be fully
It's fine.
alert for it.
It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. Update on Teen Wolf. It is amazing. I love it. I was gonna fake him out, but I can't do that. I'm almost on to season 4 now.
Top 5 characters now.
Top 5 characters today.
As of halfway through
Do I have
3B.
to rank them? I can't do that.
Just top 5 in no particular order.
Allison. Mm-hmm. She's slaying in 3B
I know, she's so good.
with her
Outfits.
Her outfits, yeah.
She's iconic.
I mean, there's a scene.
Which one?
I don't even know. You know.
I don't actually. There's like 5
When
of her
she's
and
like,
Isaac.
what does she say to Isaac? She's like, "Do you want to keep thinking about Scott, or do you want to paint me?"
Oh my
I
god!
was like,
oh my god!
shit.
I have been recording Chris's reactions to part of the show
Yeah.
to send to my best friend Jenna, and for those of you that watch Teen Wolf, there's like the rave episode, and I was like recording Chris. I was like, just to let you know, Allison's about to be the hottest she's ever been, and she's talking to Isaac, and she's like, "Do you want to keep talking about Scott, or do you want to paint my body?"
I was like, "God damn!"
And he's like, "I want to paint your body." I was like, "Yeah."
And then she made like Isaac grab her booty.
Don't say booty like that.
It wasn't just like a grab; it was a full-on.
Can you tell that
fondle.
they're dating
Yeah,
IRL?
They are.
They've
clearly.
got chemistry.
They really do.
I'm pretty sure that the actors IRL are exactly what's happening to the characters because Crystal Reed liked Tyler Posey when they were filming the show, like for the first like 2.5 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
And then I guess she moved on or whatever, what have you. Maybe Daniel started hitting on her or whatever. But at some point in time, Crystal and Daniel started dating. And then eventually they broke up.
And is Tyler Posey single in real life right now, or no? Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? But my favorite characters in no order: Allison Styles, or should
Yeah.
I say Void Styles?
When I told Jenna that, like, when the Void Styles reveal happened, she was like, best character reveal. She loves Void Styles.
So yeah, Styles and Allison. Still Derek. Mm-hmm. Scott's got to be in the 5, and then Isaac.
Yeah.
So those are the 5. But I want to shout out
He's been influenced.
someone who's grown is Chris Argent. He's grown on me a lot. Yeah.
So true.
And when Chris and Derek were in the police station, I was like,
Yeah.
the duo, or no, it was before that. I was like, the duo we never knew we needed.
So true.
Good duo.
Just like a special shout out to the parents in that show in general.
Mother,
Sheriff
Melissa.
Stilinski, Mother Melissa
Yeah,
McCall.
mother and father.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
Not a shout out to Mr. McCall, though.
Yeah.
We hate his ass. Even though he did have one good moment recently where he saved Styles.
Yeah.
Fine, we'll give him that. We'll give 10s where they're due, whatever. Chris Argent, love him.
Yeah, Cam has a dictionary of terms for me, so I'm
Yes, I
able
have-
to follow along
it's
easily.
right here.
Because this show, I swear to God, I enjoy it. Trust me, but like more than
Dude,
any
it's
other
a lot.
show, it like dumps lore on you in like 10 minutes. And if you miss a line, it's like, oh shit. What
You
happened?
blink out for 5 seconds and you'll miss it. For
Yeah.
those that are watching the video version, if you can see this is our Teen Wolf Encyclopedia.
Yeah.
So far, we've got Celtic Druid, Duroc, Nematon, Mistletoe, Kitsune, no Kitsune, Oni, and Banshee. Those are our vocab words.
Yeah, it's literally like, it's like I'm taking a course, but I'm okay with
What's a
it.
Kitsune?
It's a kitsune is like, I know that they have the fox fire
Yes.
stuff. It's like the good
Who is a
spirit of a
kitsune?
fox. Kira?
Yes. What's a no Kitsune?
It's a bad kitsune.
Very good. What's a
Or
Duroc?
dark. It's a druid who went down the wrong path.
Very good. Word for word definition there. What's a Banshee?
Lydia Martin.
What's
Someone who screams or can like sense the presence of death, essentially.
Very good. What's Mistletoe?
Mistletoe is poison.
2
Werewolves.
and
Everyone, pretty much.
Yep, correct.
Literally
Very
everyone.
good.
But it's like,
What's a Nematon?
it's the tree stump.
I drove
But
by.
it's also a gateway for like mystical creatures to come into the world, or I don't know, something like that. No?
Not really.
Oh, I
It
tried.
just has a lot of magic in
Oh,
it,
okay.
so it's close enough.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I drove past a tree stump today that looked a lot like the Nematon. Kind
Damn.
of scared me a little bit.
Damn.
I normally wouldn't have noticed it, but I was driving the speed limit because there was
Yeah.
a cop behind me. So,
Good for you. Paying attention to your surroundings.
but I had to go like 30 miles an hour, so that was like really boring.
Oh, man. But yeah, enjoying Teen Wolf, and the next time we talk, I'll be in season 4, maybe done with season 4. Season 4 is short. It's 12 episodes.
For those of you that have seen Teen Wolf, you know how important the journey he's about to go on is. So pray for him.
For what, 4 or 3B half?
Finishing
back half?
3.
5 episodes left, yeah.
I'm excited
That's
for you.
200 minutes.
I'm really excited for you.
I think 5 times 40 is 200.
Honestly, can we wrap this up so we can go watch Teen Wolf?
Yeah, honestly. Percy Jackson comes out. Follow Cam on her stuff because she'll be tracking along.
I've got. We both have trailer reactions, separate trailer reactions this time, even though we were in the same house. Normally they just go to Chris's channel, but I posted one today. Probably will post one tomorrow for the Battle of Songbirds and Snakes.
You got that one. I think I'm gonna do a Stranger Things video tomorrow
Okay.
about the play.
And then. Yeah, I've got a Percy Jackson trailer breakdown coming to my channel soon. It's on my computer being edited right now. And you can follow Chris for non-Percy Jackson related things.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll read the book and start posting about it. Who knows?
we'll see. But if you're watching, hit the like button and comment down below. Basically, answers to everything we talked about. Like,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the Percy Jackson trailer? What are some reboots you would want to see or not want to see?
Yeah.
Um,
I'm actually assigning everybody who listens to the podcast homework. Your homework is to read Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief.
yeah, there
That's
you
your
go.
homework.
There you go. So that's that. Do we have anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
Leave a review on the
Yep.
audio version.
Do
Spotify.
all the podcast things.
Yes.
Post us on your story.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's pretty much it.
But other than that, that's my YouTube outro. What do we say here? Until
Stay
next
unusual.
time.
However, we've neglected our Saw rewatch, and we will be talking about Saw very soon.
We'll rewatch Saw once you finish 3B.
So yeah, very, very soon.
But until next time.
I thought we lost you. I thought you glitched out.
I'm trying to remember our
I
outro.
thought you voided out on me.
Is it until next time, stay unusual?
Yeah.
Until next time, stay unusual,
unusual.
guys. Bye.